So I'll obviously start this recording. I'll whack it on YouTube, even though this one was a little bit of a rough game. Now, obviously, in this kind of lane, now I think most of the times, like Rakan is a champion that benefits so much from lucidity that I think that most times you always want to go with lucidity bits. The only time you don't, and so actually, you tell me what do you think are the times where you shouldn't really go with lucidity boots?
Times where my DK is shit and I want to look for other
Okay,
lanes.
so that's one thing. But give me an example of an AD carry that you could be with that you wouldn't go lucidity with.
Against or with?
With.
I don't know.
There's one guy that apparently needs a map or something. I don't know, like. So if you had something
Oh
like
shit.
Ezreal, um,
Yes.
so like Ezreal or someone long range that doesn't really need you there, like Jin can do that as well, and stuff like that, where you're kind of encouraged to roam, then you'd go for more kind of like the Moby boots. Now, actually, you'd probably
Okay.
go more towards Swifties. Now, the problem with Mobies on Rakan is, um, you don't want to kind of jump into them while you've got Mobies on, and then have them Mobies run out while you're in the middle of the enemy team, you know?
Yeah.
So this is why usually Lucidities are just all around better, because you get a constant movement speed. Obviously, if they had something like an Ash, then you could maybe go with those Swifties as well, which are really nice. But overall, the haste is much better all around.
Okay.
So, do, 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 do. So again, so this is kind of one of those lanes where it's kind of all in versus all in. So it's kind of a bit all over the place. Now, obviously you can't go champions that are squishy into blitz, so things like the Soraka and the Seraphine, stuff like that, are just completely off the table. Because if you get pulled once, you're done for, you know.
Yeah.
So if you've got Rakan in your arsenal, having that as a backup is pretty good. Now, this is kind of one of the main things with this lane. You can't really ever walk up too far, especially when you've got a Vayne, because of the blitz hook. So if anything, you're just really, really waiting out for him to use that hook, which, again, a good blitz won't use it early. But, I
Yeah.
mean, I do think Blitz is a very, very difficult champion due to this. Sis was good sitting all the way back here, um, just because you can't really do that much. Oh, this was a little bit rough. So he'd used the hook, but to be fair, we didn't know where Kindred was.
Mm.
We did manage to get an okay amount on it though. Vayne did kind of tumble forward, which was interesting. That was Kindred's flash as well, right? So this was actually pretty worth for us because Kindred had grief this like she lost. Actually, no, she didn't lose top side. She actually went blue gromp red into bot. I love how there was a missing a danger signal on her red buff then, like even though she's literally in bot lane. Okay, so this is the first thing, right? So our Nunu is on the complete opposite side of the map, and we have nowhere near enough HP to contest. Now, this first ward that we put was really good because that ends up spotting her, but the thing is then we have to walk away. So
Yep.
Kindred has invested so much in of her tempo in coming down here that if she doesn't get anything on us
Yeah.
here, she is very, very doomed. So this is why I was like,
Yeah.
leave, 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 leave.
Mm.
Because if we would have just walked away here, Kindred gets stinted like pretty hard. But then see at
Yeah.
this point we see her and we stay. So there it's kind of
Yeah.
like even though I mean this is a really really big concept in comp as well actually, because these early tower dives happen a lot more in kind of these elos like Masters Plus because players are a little bit more in tune with what they're doing, and you have competitive players a bit more. The fact that this guy is playing Kindred in Masters, Kindred is a very, very hard champion to play. So, it means that he probably knows what he's doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just
yeah,
the reason why was that because as you can see, like I wanted out, but Wayne was patting down.
yeah. So it doesn't
So
matter.
then okay, so I just
You
leave
just
her.
leave her. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So first up, what you should have done is at this point you should have been spamming pings.
Yeah.
Like spam ping, spam ping, spam ping, and then hug the wall and walk it this way, and just
Yep.
hug the wall going up all the way and just leave. If Vayne
Yeah.
comes with you, great. If not, then you just both die, which obviously is what happens.
Yeah.
Especially, so what variable do you think needs to change in order for you to change what you did in this situation?
Nunu was bot lane.
Yeah, if Nunu was in even the bottom side of the map, like we could have actually done something, but because he was all the way up here, we literally can't do anything. So we just have to back off, and then we actually just go for a roam timer if Vayne stays and dies, and then we just play like that instead.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're never really gonna get anything off here. Like Vayne just doesn't have the damage early, and this is actually good from the Kindred. So one of the big things about Vayne is the fact that she doesn't have any wave clear. So it's very easy to either dive her or rotate up through mid lane because she can't really do anything with the wave. If they crash a wave into your tower, like she's going to get dove. Like so. Because of that, you know, you just want to look to go, and obviously Nunu does come now, but it's way too late. There's not really that much that can be done. And even if you did ignite in there, he still survives because he's got his mana shield, his passive.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, he's very tanky. So this, we ended up getting the Kaiser's flash here. So one thing is you can also time flashes, which does help quite a lot in solo queue and in comp as well, especially if you want to take like a tool into comp. So just get used to timing flashes. So I think she used it at 448. 438. So what you want to do is you just want to type out Kaiser F 9 minutes, and then Control A, Control C, and that'll copy it, and then you can just every say 30 seconds just enter and paste it, and then obviously if other summoners are used, you can do it again. Overall, you do have to obviously take care of things like Lucidity Boots and Cosmic Insight, but if they don't have Inspiration, then they're not going to have it. So Cosmic Insight reduces flash by 40 seconds, or roughly 40 seconds anyway.
Yeah, I have it on the sticky
good.
note.
Very good. Nice. So yeah, timing them in chats could be really handy, especially for it's kind of like it's like you kind of like you're trying to like bait out a mouse, right? And you can put like in the chat you can put like a little piece of cheese. This is cheese.
Yeah.
And then the jungler will go, oh, flash, gone. Oh, I'll come down. So it's kind of like you can kind of bait your jungler with timers in chat, which can be actually really handy.
Unfortunately, I have chat disabled, so.
Oh, okay. I mean that's also probably better.
That's why. Yeah. That's why I don't like write it down. I mean, ping
that's
it.
probably better, to be honest. Like chat provides no value in this game.
Yeah, I get so my confidence is a bit like I need to improve it before I can put on chat again.
I just don't think you ever need to put it on again. I don't think chat does anything, like absolutely anything. Like I don't like it. It's just so ridiculous. Like it's like even earlier I was playing normal games. I was something like 12-2 on Aurelia mid with like 10 CS a minute, and I had some like 1 and 2 jungler just flaming me saying I was boosted. Like it's like what? It's crazy. So honestly, chat is insane in this game. So this was good. We did manage to get this dragon, which was nice and good warding. And then so at this point, we're just waiting out. Now, one of the big things with a game like this, when you have a Vayne, obviously a lot of people don't like having Vaynes on their team, because she doesn't really provide as much in the laning phase, especially against things like Blitz. But the thing is, like, she's a guaranteed win condition. It's the same with Kog'Maw. I'm a massive fan of Kog'Maw personally, because if he gets to 3-4 items, he's just gonna solo carry the game. So it's like you have this win condition where you don't really need to hard roam and you don't really need to do anything crazy because you have that guaranteed win condition. So now we're stacking up a big slow push. So what you want to do in these situations is ping assistance on your wave and on the jungler, just to kind of get them to look, and then hopefully in this elo they'll look and see that there's a slow push coming and potentially come and do something about it. So just for note as well, what I was on about with the Vayne getting this ward is if you stand in this little, do you see how it's like curved in?
Yeah, I know that.
Oh yeah, and then here it's super good.
Yes.
Very
It's
good
actually my Eddie Carey that told me about it.
It's very good. So this was good as well. We did change CC a little bit, but we actually played this very well. Just kind of keeping the Vayne alive. She's very lucky she survived here, to be honest. But so this was very good. Those potions saved her life very well. And then yeah, we just push this in again. Like I have no idea. Like this is a mixture of why is Nunu leaving while the wave is this big,
Yeah.
and also why doesn't she freeze it? Like
Yeah, it was just a bit weird.
very very interesting. But what we could do here as well is I mean no we can't. Never mind. We don't even have chance to roam and help the Nunu there. So again we get a nice big slow push. So we can just play around this. I like that you're saving your relic stacks till last minute on the cannon, or last second even either. Like one of the worst things is when I see people like hitting it from 50%, and I'm like, oh god. Right, so this was fine. This was actually very big. Now, in these kind of situations, what do you think was one of the main reasons this went downhill? What do you think we could have done at this moment? As soon as we see Blitz there, what do you think is the first thing we should be looking to do?
I just see that LeBlanc is backing. That's not good.
So what's the first thing?
We don't want to contest it, but that's like an issue that I have recently found with myself, that I am playing a bit too hard for control words, especially if it was mine.
Okay. So
I agree a bit.
the main thing here is that we're not pressing tab, basically. We're trying to cross the road, but we haven't looked both ways, you know? Like, because right here, this Blitz is very, very overextended, and he is in a position we could catch him.
Yeah.
But we don't check tab. So because we don't check tab, we don't see that he's got a stop. Or we did actually look at it, but we didn't actually check Blitz anywhere near enough. Because he's got stopwatch here.
Yeah, that was so... Stopwatch.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, a stopwatch on Blitzcrank.
Yeah. I mean, this is sad as well. That she managed to get you with that.
But, like, all of this could be, like... if I had my ult.
Yeah, true. So this engage here was a little bit...
it was so bad. It was
a little
so
bit
bad.
crazy. Because the thing is, the LeBlanc had already backed out of it, and she also had no mana too. So you can't really go for it. But again, like, we can afford
I just wanted to look good.
Oh yeah, okay. I see. I respect it.
But it wasn't a good play.
I mean, the thing is, as long as see, this is sad. The thing is, if LeBlanc had mana there as well, or if she just hadn't backed out. But so another thing we could have done here again is also use our pings, right? So here, like, this LeBlanc is in an intense fight where she's trying to micro, and, like, we only ping once. So spam those pings. Make sure that they know. Because if she hadn't have jumped back, maybe we could have E'd... Well, we could have flash E'd and then W'd. It would have actually been fine play.
Yeah.
So this was... okay. So, obviously, the power of LeBlanc. She's ridiculously broken. In my opinion, especially in solo queue. She's kind of like one of those champs where you could never really catch her if you play it properly. Now, she's hard, but again, she just provides so much.
Yeah.
But yes.
I like that champion.
So this was the fight. This was the fight. This was the fight. So let's just break this down, just because we actually did a lot of things right here. So obviously at first we got in there, which was good. Blitz did get pulled, but it didn't matter. We did miss our W. Now, this was kind of one of the big mistakes, because who is your priority in this fight?
Vel'Koz.
Yeah, Vel'Koz.
But I was thinking about Kindred and Kai'Sa from bot, so I wanted to, like, delete Blitzcrank as fast as possible so that we could either turn on Vel'Koz or Kindred and then Kai'Sa when they had rotated up to us. Okay,
so the thing is with Rakan is a disruption champion, right?
Yeah.
Your goal is to basically be as annoying as possible.
Yep.
And stop them doing anything. So right here, this Vel'Koz still has his ultimate up. We haven't seen him use ultimate for a good amount of time, so we know he's got it. So right here, we could have actually done way more if we cancelled his ult. Because
True.
if we cancel his ultimate here, we can then E back into Nunu and use our ult, and then we can catch them. But yeah, like here, he just managed to get way too much damage off. Which then kind of turned the fight, and now we've got a Vel'Koz who. So another reason for this, obviously as well, is the fact that if we jump on him at that point, and we get rid of his shield, which right now I think is giving him about 30 AP, maybe a bit less. It's between 20 to 40.
Oh, he
Yeah,
gets AP from it.
yeah. So when you've got
Oh,
the Crown of the Shattered Queen shield up, you get up
yeah.
to 40 bonus AP while you have it.
Oh,
So it means that you do a lot more damage. Obviously, when it drops,
okay.
you do a lot less, but that's why it's super, super important to get rid. Obviously, you do get the 50% damage reduction with it as well, especially, I think it's 1.5 seconds after it's
Yeah.
dropped too, but... So yeah, like he could have just autoed you here. The Guardian came in clutch, but... Yeah. So this worked out. Obviously, our target prioritization was a little bit off, which on Rakan, that's kind of one of the main things you want to be going for.
Yeah.
But yeah, so always just look for the carries and just go for them. But yeah, I think Crown of the Shatter Queen on artillery mages and long range mages is unbelievable because it's usually very hard to get rid of, right? But as Rakan, even if you use your WQ just to get rid of that shield, that can be very, very valuable. Now, Blitzhook was very interesting here. So here, I mean, Nunu's topside for some reason, but the 14-minute Herald Wonder, obviously just making sure she gets solo gold, just because it's kind of one of the things where if your carries have more gold, it means you need less gold. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
if your carries are going to win the team fight quicker, you don't really need as much to survive. But yeah, these kind of deep wards are always like very valuable, especially when Nunu is on that.
Mm.
And then this
I
was
also don't want to like show. That's why.
yeah. So this was very, very good though. This was a good fight. We use our E very nicely here. And again, to get away from the Vel'Koz E. So that was very sad. Like I could have swore that would have hit Vel'Koz.
Yeah, I thought so as well.
Yeah,
That was
it's
so
one of the
weird.
main things when you're. I mean, it's kind of hard with vision here, but one of the main things to take into consideration when you're throwing things like your Q is that the top half of the champion doesn't mean anything, right? Like your hitbox is in a circle around your feet. So whenever you're throwing anything out, you always want to throw it a little bit lower. Obviously,
Yeah.
I know Vel'Koz doesn't have feet, but if you throw it a little bit lower, you have a much higher chance of actually hitting it, even if it looks like it isn't going to.
Yeah, I thought he would pat out because I wasn't seeing him for like half a
Yeah, the
second.
vision did come a bit. This was
But then
play though.
and
But
then I just
so
I was looking for Vel'Koz, but I should have just flashed instead of getting like CC'd by
so
Ergo.
one of the things here is we knew the Urgot was there, right? Like
Yeah.
we predicted
Yeah.
that the Urgot was there, so what we should have done is instantly just W'd before Urgot could get anything on us, and then we E away to safety. So these pings were good, and we see him, and then we just hold on to W, right? So in that situation, we have to instantly W, and then we can use
Yeah.
E to jump to LeBlanc and get away from the
Yeah, I
Vel'Koz.
was just thinking of going for Vel'Koz with my W. That's why I
Oh,
went around. But like I was just mindless about the CC from Urgot.
yeah. Urgot's flip is pretty
Yeah.
obnoxious to say the
So I
least.
got more chunk than I was
Yeah.
thinking I was gonna be.
That Vayne played that so bad. Like she could have actually won that.
Just imagine just being there like that's the wrong play, in my opinion.
Yeah, she shouldn't. She should be grouped at this point. Um, so here, this fine, we end up getting this, and again at this point we're very heavy snowballing. Here, obviously, we could have potentially W'd on top of her to catch her, which she would have
Yeah,
instantly died here.
yeah, I didn't think that she would go in here and then
Yeah,
Vel'Koz hits us with that
especially like
ability. So I was
super
trying to get
late.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
it's okay though.
I was just thinking of rotating to mid and look for something then, but I'm up for those cheeky fights like this.
Yeah, this was actually a
That's
really
fine.
good fight. This is the thing with Rakan, you provide so much CC in these kind of situations. Especially
Yeah.
here, this was a really good W that you landed. To get
Yeah,
two of
Vel'Koz
them,
had the
and then,
flash and
yeah. And then, so this was really, really good. And then again, the fact that they didn't take the inhib, you gotta love it. Especially considering supers literally spawn with like 300 AD and 3000 HP. So it's like if you have them in a lane, it's basically more than your tanks and your ADCs combined. And then and then this was fine. So yeah, so this one, you know, it was a bit snowbally. Obviously, I think one of the main things with this one was just kind of how you prioritize your kind of targeting, especially in that kind of the fight around the dragon pit. I think the rest of it was kind of fine though, and the lane kind of went okay too. So yeah, so we'll leave that one there. Obviously, this one there wasn't as much substance to, but we'll jump to the second one.